Alright guys, quick intro here. So this is going to be a two-parter. Part 1 is just going to be mostly this, is actually entirely, going to be the build of this Corsair. This is a Tamiya F4U 1A, or 1 Corsair with birdcage. Basically, I've built this kit a handful of times already, I think 3. Including this one. So I just wanted to change it up and do something different, and I wanted to build a battle damaged one, so I did. Originally it wasn't going to be this battle damage, it was just going to be fabric removed, maybe like a few years left there, but now it's turned into something else completely. So yeah, since I didn't have an intro, and I'm not sure how long the video is going to be with all the footage I recorded, I just want to give this explanation real quick. So quick thoughts though on the kit is it's a Tamiya kit, so it's great. But problem I ran into is that this part, the cowling does not fit right here. There we go. Doesn't tab in right there. So that's a shame. But yeah, other than that, it went together great. I also tried some new technique of tin canning. You'll see it, I think, on video, but it turned out just okay. But yeah, this build didn't go directly, or didn't go as smoothly as I would have liked. And you'll see problems with the paint, or problems maybe with the masking fluid I used. But anyway, yeah, I will show you how it's all built. So yeah, guys, without further delay, let's get right into the video. Right now I am spraying Vallejo Black out of a Awada Neo airbrush, and this will create a shadow layer and act as somewhat of a primer in theory for the main coat to stick on. This is zinc chromate yellow from Mission Models. As you can see on some of the up close shots, it didn't spray as well. It was very, very thin. So that was kind of maybe a precursor to what was going to happen later in the build. If you look at some of the spots in the cockpit, you can see the silver, and basically I took a old sponge and some burst tweezers and just dabbed the sponge in some silver paint and went around to show where. And right now the finished cockpit is complete. I did some rust streaks to show that it has been exposed to the elements. This was my first time using the Dremel on plastic, and I have to say overall they went really well, I think. As you'll see in a little bit, that it did melt around the bit, but other than that, it was pretty easy enough to just kind of scrape it off with a knife. But other than that, I think it went great, and I will definitely be using this for future weathering. This is just a cheap drill bit set that I bought off of eBay, and I am just going to do some of the wires that go into the engine. I'm not sure if they're like coolant lines or what they are exactly, but they're pretty common in radial engines. Later on these wings, I found it easier to basically just drill the perimeter of the fabric covers that I wanted to take off, and then come back with a Dremel and just connect them all so it would fall out. I also decided to get a little bit risky and try to drill a hole into the windshield to make it look like it's been shot or just it broke over time. As you can see, it's scratched, but I think for this build it's okay. However, I will be more careful next time when I do it. Once again, this is the zinc chromate yellow that we used previously in the cockpit. However, this time it didn't stick very well. I've had problems with this exact paint before. This is the mission model stuff. I haven't had problems with their paints in general on primers, but for whatever reason this one didn't want to stick, and even lifted up quite badly in places. And to really weather the paint, I decided to use this heavy AK chipping fluid. I've used this before on other projects and it works really well. Basically, you just spray 2 to 3 light coats, or just coats in general, and you just let it sit, and then you put your other layer of paint on. In my case, it's silver. And then you take a wet brush and you rub it off. However, not enough for me came off, and I wanted a little bit more zinc chromate on there. So I decided to just spray a little bit more on there in places, and you'll see some gray spots where unfortunately it took both the paint and the primer off. Right now I'm also using just a custom mix that I've used before on naval aircraft that are in this like lighter blue. I will say on camera it's much bluer than it actually appears in real life. It's a little bit more pastel-y. I found that rubbing some water on and then just using your finger to kind of lightly rub it up was effective for getting some of the more stubborn areas off. The area with the rust spots, unfortunately, the paint came up when I was working on removing the masking fluid, but decided to roll with it, and instead of repainting it, I decided to make it a big rust area, just where you'd see a little bit more pitting, maybe some water standing, so I thought it turned out very nicely, actually. And I just wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.